I'm Angela Ward.
My mission is to make sure that we put money into the hands of Georgians, and I'm very skeptical of any idea that doesn't achieve that purpose.
I'm bringing you inside access to innovators and thought leaders that are shaping our area.
It's politically correct. 2 is marketing correct.
Leveraging more digital platforms, virtualization, school system.
Asking questions that put issues first and politics second.
The African American community has been particularly hard hit by COVID-19.
Some people do it for health, some people do it for the environment, some people do it for the animals. Whatever your reasoning is, just make sure it's something real to you.
This is The Game Changers. I am Angela Ward with The Game Changers. I am here with Mr. William Whitesell. He is running for Superior Court Judge in South Georgia. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Thank you. So let's jump right in. Tell us why you want to be Superior Court Judge here in South Georgia.
Well, the short answer is I fell in love with the job back in the early 2000s. I was in the late 90s. I was serving as the judicial law clerk for the Southern Judicial Circuit, which is our circuit, which is Lowndes, Colquitt, Thomas, Eccles, and Brooks counties. And as a law clerk, I was working closely with the judges, listening in on cases, attending trials and hearings, as well as helping research and draft orders and so forth. So at that point, I really sort of fell in love with the position. It's not a position that you can really safely set your heart on because the opportunity may never arise for it. It's such there are so few positions of Superior Court Judge, so it just happened to open up at this time. I've always service has always been very important to me, and I guess that started back when I was a child. I was a Boy Scout, became an Eagle Scout, and then continued on service through college, and I currently serve on 5 nonprofit boards here in Lowndes County. So service is important to me, and this is another way that I can serve.
So tell us about some of the practices that you have experienced in that to show that you are qualified.
Certainly. So right when I finished law school, I took the Florida bar and passed it, took the Georgia bar as soon as it was offered and passed it, and then came back and worked for a litigation firm called Young, Thagard, Hoffman, Smith & Lawrence. And that firm handled mainly what's called insurance defense litigation. And so that is a civil litigation. At the time, we all had to handle indigent criminal defense. So if an accused person didn't have the money to afford an attorney, the state or county would appoint one of us to represent him or her. And so we all did that work, and that was just a progressive. When your name came up, you were assigned the defendant.
Right.
So we all did that type of work, and then we also did real estate work at Young Thagard. So I was at Young Thagard for 3 years, and then left and started my own practice, and had my own practice for I guess 18 or 19 years now. And in that practice, I have expanded my areas, and I've always got some personal injury cases going. I always have contract dispute cases going, property damage cases, property dispute cases. I always have some divorces going, and sadly I have some wrongful death cases going. So along with that, I also do criminal defense, and I've been the prosecutor for the city of Remerton for a little better than 19 years.
Wow.
So as far as the areas covered by Superior Court, I essentially practiced in all of them and have done so without interruption for certain over 18 years, and for most of them for 21.
What do you think is the end goal of incarceration and under the circumstances of rehabilitation and punishment?
Well, certainly you hit both
or
of them.
punishment, I'm sorry.
You hit both of them. What we're taught and what we see is, incarceration is punishment that is designed for rehabilitation as well as protection to the public, and like we just mentioned, punishment. But there, of course, many different crimes that would call for different sentences and different lengths of time and different styles of punishment. There are a lot of options available now that weren't available even 10 years ago, and so there are not as many within incarceration, but alternatives to incarceration that we didn't have even 10 years ago.
And now that you see those alternatives, do you, I know from a perspective, an opinionated perspective, you couldn't answer, but do you see that better for society to have those different options?
I believe so. The more options, the better, especially when they've been shown to be effective. So.
Absolutely. So what do you want people to know, Mr. Whitesell? This is what you have, like 40-something days left?
We've got, I believe it's 41 days.
41 days left.
Before the election. What people need to know is that our election is on May 24th. It's our final election. It's everyone else's primary generally.
That's right.
But since we're nonpartisan, ours will hopefully be decided that day. Things I hope to bring to the table as being someone who's been in private practice for so long, essentially I've had to deal not only with cases, but also with marketing, making payroll, HR, that sort of thing. And so I think that's prepared me better for the position, giving me a broader perspective and more insight into what our citizenry goes through. Especially other business owners and people in private businesses. I really do firmly believe that justice delayed is justice denied. And so I want to bring that efficiency that we all have to have if you're in private practice or a private business. Efficiency is important for
Absolutely.
Survival and to thrive. And I want to bring that efficiency into government as much as I'm able to.
Thank you. Appreciate you coming on the show, Mr. Whitesell.
Thank you so much for having me. I certainly enjoyed it.
Absolutely.